What's up everybody, welcome to Wing Chun DC tutorial number 7. Today we're going to be looking at feinting, right? And there's the 5 separate feints that you can use. There's probably more, but basically I've kind of boiled them down to these different feints that you can use. Why do you use a feint? You use a feint when you're at distance, right? So Wing Chun, traditionally, you don't train feinting in Wing Chun because you're not distance fighting, you're fighting up close. Obviously, we want to be prepared for everything. So these are things that you can do from the outside, right? That can basically, what you're looking to do when you do a feint, right? You want to get the other person out of position. So when I make a feint like that, the other person reacts to that feint. And what they do is they usually flinch and they jump back, right? So what that does, it basically allows you to do a follow-up attack or close the distance, right? Or make them think that you're more dangerous than you actually are, or to make them constantly feel threatened, right? So the more you feint, the more the other person feels threatened. And to make the other person feel threatened, they're going to be defensive. And when they're defensive, that's when you can kind of open up your attacks. So we're going to look at 5 different feints that you can use at distance, right? So remember, this is done at distance. You don't want to do this necessarily too close. Because you can walk into shots if they're being thrown, but if you're at a safe distance, you can make a feint, and the other person will, if the feint is convincing enough, then the person will flinch and will move out of position. So the more you practice this, the smoother your feints are, the more realistic they are, the better. So let's go break it down. So number 1, we're going to get into our fighting stance, left foot forward, right foot back. Your back foot is up, so you're on your toes here like that. And you'll want to be nice and evenly balanced like that. Hands coming up like this, right? So this time, the first one is just a whole body feint, okay? So I'm just going to I'm going to move my whole body forward and do that, okay? So I stay on the same position, the hands don't move at all, I just move like this, boom, there, and I threaten. So I step in and out, boom, and out, boom, and out, there. So I step forward and then I bring my foot back into position. So now I'm back in position 0. Okay, so that's feint number 1. So feint number 2, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to make a hand movement as well. Okay, so I'm going to step in, and I'm going to put my hand up, boom, there. So my hand comes up. All I do is I can just touch my hair there, boom, there. So again, you're adding another layer to the feint, right? It makes it seem like, you know, I'm going to do something with my hand. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change level, right? So we've got the first one is no hand movement. The second one, hand movement. The third one, what we're going to do is we're going to drop the level like this and step in like that. So step in like that. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to shoot a jab down to the body, okay, with the lead hand, right? But instead I just do that, okay? You might do that after you've thrown some. If I throw jabs to the body and I step them like this here, and then I go boom there, it makes the other person think that I'm throwing a jab to the body. I'm not actually going to throw a jab, I'm just going to change my level. So if this foot stays in position, I step in, but I bend my legs, and I look as if I'm going to aim to the body there and come back. Okay, so the fourth one we're going to practice, right, is the right hand, okay? So now we can do that with or without movement. So the first one we're going to do is just like this, right? So from here, and I'm going to turn my body like that, boom, there. Okay, stay in position, boom, turn my body. It looks like I'm going to shoot a right hand, but I'm not. I'm just going to act like I'm doing it. Fifth one, right? We can just do the same thing, but we can move with it. There, okay? Step and there, step, punch like that. So this is even more aggressive. So there's levels of aggressiveness. 1, 2, there, okay? So practice those 5 different types of feinting. Okay, the first 3 are based off the jab. So the first one would be I'm just doing this. It's this movement, but instead there's no jab. Okay, the first one is I'm just doing this. I'm just flinching, right? So you always act like you're going to punch, right? You're going to do a punch there. There. Okay, so you can practice the punch first and then take the punch away and just practice the body movement. So this would be should give you a lot of stuff to work on, right? So go through those 5 and practice them. If you've got other ones that you want to practice as well, I mean, you can do left hook ones as well. I can turn like that, so that if the more I turn like this, it looks like I'm throwing a left hook. Boom, okay? But you don't usually throw a left hook from the outside, so it's not, you know, there will be fewer circumstances where you turn that far. You might just turn like that, okay, as if I'm going to throw a right hand. But I want to throw straight punches from the outside. But I could throw an uppercut, I could, like this. There, it looks like I'm going to throw an uppercut, but I'm not going to do it. So there are lots of different variations, but those 5 are kind of like the fundamental ones that you want to practice. Any questions, drop them below or email me back. Drop comments below or email me back, and be happy to answer them. And see you guys next time.